Well, since it's the show's or the theater's anniversary, we haven't played in there since our 50th anniversary, which was 3 years ago. And I thought it would be nice to reintroduce some songs that people enjoy that we don't play that often anymore, if at all. So we rehearsed and learned half a dozen older songs. I also asked for fun of the audience the last time I performed if they would throw out a couple of requests, which I never do, and got the songs I assumed we would be playing at the show. So I think I'm correct in that. One of them is called this song I wrote a long time ago, relatively long time ago, back in the late 80s, called High Heels Are Dangerous. And there's a standard that we do that was very, very popular from the 70s on until the early 80s when I just refused to play it anymore. And it was called Sea Cruise by Frankie Ford and the Flamingos. And we'll be doing those along with some other ones that are, people. It depends on I think the guy that handles my Facebook may be doing some kind of a questionnaire or something. I mean, there's a lot of songs that we can do. Some of them we only bring out, like there's a song that was off our first record called I Game. We'll be doing that, and possibly, I'm not sure yet because we have another rehearsal and Sam, my drummer, does with a song called Who Do You Love, which was originally done by Bo Diddley. So that's a few. Plus all the other things we've been doing in our normal repertoire. Yeah, well, so here we are. I mean, and for some reason, it's still here. I think the people that appreciate the band like it because the people that are in the band that are playing it are genuine. It's the real thing. I mean, my main goal and the band's goal is to give people that come to see the band an experience, something they can take home, something that may cause thought, something that might generate a memory of something that was like theater, you know what I mean? In the sense that when you go to the theater, you have an experience. You experience the story, but you also have this emotional involvement because it's there, it's real, it's generated by people. It's not a recording, it's not, parroting something. It's an actual event, which is what we do. But the name of the band had nothing to do with mathematics. The guy who figured that out was the horn player, Terry, because he's a puzzle freak. And the coincidence was stunning. But I named the band 156075 as a warning. It's like Orwellian. And it was done in the 70s during the Nixon era when my friends' phones were tapped by the FBI before the shootings and all that stuff. It's a whole another atmosphere. And I chose numbers for the band because I kept thinking of names for this band I had just taken over. I wasn't going to call it what they were before. And I wanted a name. And every time I thought of a name, it just sounded local. So I kept digging and digging like I do, because I knew the band had to be, especially the name, had to be utterly unique. And there were no bands using numbers, and the numbers also were Orwellian. So that's why I chose those numbers. The thing that happened that was so remarkable was Terry came up to me, had been in the band about, 3 or 4 weeks. He said, Did you know when you named this band that 15 into 15 made 1, 15 into 60 made 4, and 15 into 75 made 5? I said, no, 1, 4, 5 in music notation is what they call the universal progression, which is blues, jazz, folk music, Spanish music. It's all over the world. And we were playing blues. Well, I went to Tom. I'd known Tom for many, many years. In fact, I just talked to him, and he told me a story I had no idea. It goes all the way back to the late 70s. And but he worked at the university on the student programming board and got us. And he came to hear the band, probably at JB's. I don't think he was here or when we were playing the Cove. But he thought the music was great. And he did things for us to try and help us out. He got us the opening act for Tom Waits. And he would throw things at us. And, he'd show up at the club and stuff. And when he started the Kent stage, their format was their format. And we were playing in town a lot. And there was no point in him having us at the Kent stage because it wouldn't draw anybody because they would see we were all over the place. You know what I mean? But I went to him when I decided to do the 35th anniversary. I thought I better do an anniversary show because we're not going to live much longer. This isn't going to go on much longer. So I think we should do an anniversary show and bring people back and so on, see what we could generate. And I went to him about it. It was the 35th anniversary, and he was very supportive and made it happen and let us do what we wanted to do and backed it up 100%. And it was very successful. And so that was sort of a springboard and a foot in the door for other things. And we would do other things. He had us play several New Year's Eve shows, which were sort of okay. And he would put us on the bill for the Blues Festival years ago. And then when the 40th anniversary came up 5 years later, we were all into it again. And bam, he backed us again, and there we were again. Then the 45th, and we did it again. And all these shows were, I don't know how successful they were for him, but they were certainly successful for us in that theater. Because, it's like our fan base doesn't fill theater in terms of a one-night show because we play here so much. But if it's something special, they'll come out. And I hope they will come out. They're there for the Contagious anniversary show on the weekend. And I'm hoping that they will.